The Dyatlov Pass incident, freaky facts or cover-up? What really happened on the icy slopes of the Ural Mountains in 1959? 9 experienced hikers ventured into the wilderness, prepared for the elements. Yet what followed defies all logic. Their tragic journey, filled with cryptic clues and baffling evidence, has haunted investigators for over 6 decades. Was it nature's wrath? A sinister government secret? Or something beyond explanation? Let's dive deep into one of the most chilling mysteries of our time, the Dyatlov Pass incident. It was January 23, 1959, when 9 hikers led by Igor Dyatlov, a 23-year-old engineering student, set out on what was meant to be a challenging but rewarding expedition in the Soviet Union's Ural Mountains. Each member of the group was experienced, adventurous, and eager to earn their Grade 3 hiking certification, the highest available at the time. Their planned route would take them through harsh, uninhabited terrain. Yet they were prepared, or so it seemed. As they progressed, diary entries and photographs captured their journey. Spirits appeared high as they trudged through the snow-laden wilderness. On January 31st, they established a base camp, preparing for the most difficult leg of their trip. Caught in worsening weather, they deviated slightly from their planned route. This small misstep led to a nightmare from which none of them would return. When the group failed to send a telegram on February 12th, as scheduled, their families grew concerned. A search and rescue mission began weeks later. What they found chilled even the most seasoned rescuers to the core. The hiker's tent was discovered on the slope of Dead Mountain, oddly intact, but slashed open from the inside. It appeared they had fled, many in just socks or underwear, despite the freezing temperatures. As search efforts expanded, bodies began to surface. 2 near a set of extinguished campfire remains, and 3 others sprawled in various states of undress. It wasn't until 2 months later that the remaining 4 were discovered in a ravine under thick snow. The bizarre and gruesome details of the scene are still debated to this day. The physical evidence raised more questions than answers. Some bodies showed no signs of trauma, leading investigators to conclude hypothermia was the cause of death. But for others, the injuries were horrific and incomprehensible. 1 had a fractured skull. 2 exhibited severe chest injuries likened to the force of a car crash. Even stranger, 1 hiker's eyes and tongue were missing. And then there was the radiation. Several articles of clothing showed unusually high traces of radioactive contamination, a puzzling detail that was never fully explained. While hypothermia could explain their bizarre behavior, such as fleeing half-dressed, it could not account for the traumatic injuries or the radioactive clothing. The official cause of death? A vague conclusion blaming a compelling natural force. But skeptics weren't satisfied. The detail was just too strange and conflicting. And so began the theories. One of the most widely accepted explanations is that an avalanche forced the hikers to flee their tent in panic. It would explain why they slashed their way out, rather than using the entrance. The freezing temperatures could explain their disorientation and hypothermia-induced deaths. Yet, the evidence doesn't entirely align. The slope where the tent was found did not show signs of an avalanche. Moreover, the catastrophic injuries on some of the bodies don't match patterns typically caused by snow. If it wasn't an avalanche, then what drove them into the night? At the time, Cold War tensions were at their peak. Some believe the group stumbled upon a secret Soviet military experiment, perhaps involving weapons testing. The radiation on the hikers' clothes has fueled speculation that they were inadvertently exposed to military-grade elements. Could they have been caught in the wrong place at the wrong time? The Soviet government's behavior only adds to the suspicion. Their investigation was sudden and unconvincing, with files sealed away for decades. Witnesses reported seeing strange orange orbs in the sky near the time of the hikers' deaths. Military flares or something else. One of the more sensational theories suggests that the hikers encountered a Yeti or some other cryptid in the wilderness. Advocates for this idea point to the hikers' injuries, claiming they align with a violent attack by a large creature. After all, Dead Mountain was remote and known for its harshness. Could it also hide a deadly predator? Critics dismiss this as folklore, but it remains a theory that captures imaginations, amplified by the lack of definitive evidence against it. For those who believe in the supernatural, the Dyatlov Pass incident is a hotspot for speculation. The missing eyes and tongue, the inexplicable injuries, the radiation. Could extraterrestrials or otherworldly forces have played a role? The reported glowing orbs in the sky certainly add fuel to the fire. While paranormal theories are difficult to substantiate, their allure lies in the absence of an earthly explanation. Another plausible explanation involves the extreme conditions and how they may have affected the hikers mentally and physically. Some researchers suggest the group might have experienced infrasound, a phenomenon where low-frequency sound vibrations can cause panic and disorientation. This could explain the seemingly irrational decision to flee the tent half-dressed. Poor weather also plays a crucial role. Freezing temperatures, combined with snowstorms, could lead to hypothermia and paradoxical undressing, a known occurrence where victims of hypothermia remove their clothing due to a sensation of overheating. But once again, this theory fails to account for the traumatic injuries and radiation. While Soviet investigators claimed there was no foul play, their explanation offered little clarity. The suggestion that the deaths were caused by a mysterious natural force left room for endless speculation. Adding to the intrigue, the case files were classified, leading many to suspect a cover-up. Decades later, some investigators revisited the case using modern technology. In 2019, a study proposed a natural slab avalanche, similar to a small, dense snowslide, as the likeliest culprit. However, researchers and mystery enthusiasts alike still debate the conclusion. The Dyatlov Pass incident has become a symbol of unanswered questions. Its impact extends beyond the 9 hikers who lost their lives, inspiring countless books, documentaries, and films. It's a story that resonates because it lies at the crossroads of fear of the unknown, fear of government secrecy, and fear of nature's raw power. To this day, new theories emerge, while critical evidence remains elusive. How a group of experienced hikers met such a grim and enigmatic fate remains one of the most enduring questions of our time. The Dyatlov Pass incident forces us to confront the limits of human understanding. Can we ever truly know what happened on that frozen mountaintop? Or will it remain a haunting reminder of how mysteries can endure? Now, we pose the question to you. What theory fits the evidence in your mind? A tragic natural event? A government cover-up? Or the shadow of something beyond explanation? Let us know your thoughts, and join us again as we explore the threads of history's greatest mysteries. Because sometimes, the answer is scarier than the unknown.